Welcome back to The Political Correction. Each week we aim to talk to someone at the heart of the community to talk about what brings us together, our common ground. This week we are joined by the Vice Chair of the Neighbourhood Prayer Network, Adam May. Adam, thank you for giving up some time this Sunday morning to chat to us. So tell us, what's been on your mind this week? I understand you want to talk to us about young people and their prayers.
I do indeed. My kind of first story that I want to look at this morning is with the title on the news this morning. Younger Britons prayed for Boris and Tory government more than the over 55 coronavirus pandemic. And that's interesting because this research has been put together by Savanta Comres for the Eternal Wall of Answered Prayer, and they produced some report and research last week that talked about the fact that there are more younger people praying than before when it comes to praying for things that impact our communities. And it was interesting to see the headline this morning that said that younger Britons were praying for Boris and the Conservative government during this pandemic. The article goes on to say that Rishi Sunak, of course, Chancellor of the Exchequer, who is a practicing Hindu, he himself has also been praying. But it's interesting to see from this report and from this piece of research that's been done that it's younger people that have been praying, younger people praying rather than the older people. And I think sometimes, particularly when we talk about prayer, we think about the fact that it's older people that are praying. But this research seems to suggest that it's younger people that are praying.
I think that's very interesting, but it's not just older or younger. Some of us in the middle have been praying as well for everybody, and it's important that we keep praying. But the other story that you wanted to mention was around UK banks and the fact that they have launched an emergency number to protect from scammers.
Yes, absolutely. And I think just on that point about prayer, it's good to see that prayer is an intergenerational activity that everybody can do. And it's good to see, particularly when you read headlines that say things like younger people are turning off religion and things like that. Actually, it's great to see through this research that the Eternal Wall has done that actually younger people are praying. But my second story, as you rightly say, Arlene, is in relation to scammers. And for me, it blew my mind when I saw the statistic that said that £1.6 billion was scammed in 2020. And so banks have come together in order to launch this 159 telephone service to help people who think that they've been affected by somebody who is trying to scam them. So somebody who is probably being scammed by somebody who is a kind of an official organisation. So HMRC. And I get those phone calls. Indeed, I've actually got one ringing my phone just right now in front of me. It comes up on my phone, suspected scammers. And it's interesting that many of us have been affected by scamming. A friend of mine leads the work and is about to produce a report into scamming that's going out through the All-Party Parliamentary Group on scamming in a couple of weeks, that said that scamming is actually the terrorism of our time. And actually, we need to talk more about scamming. And so it's great to see that this telephone service 159 is being launched this coming Thursday to help people who think that they've been affected by scamming.
Well, it's great to see the banks actually taking action on this because, as you've rightly said there, Adam, this is a huge issue. I think we all have tales of either receiving these sort of calls or emails ourselves, or even of people that we know that have actually lost money through these elaborate scams. So, yeah, really good to hear that banks are taking action.
Yeah,
and I understand, Adam, the third thing you want to talk to us about today.
No, I was just going to say on that, it's interesting that there's some research that was done that said that older people, and it was International Day of the Older Person on Friday, it was interesting that some research was done around older people where call barring technology was put into older people's houses, and they ripped it up because they said they'd rather talk to a scammer than they would being completely isolated. And as a society, for me, I think that's a scandal. My third story is about some my third story is some good news about Debbie. Debbie, who was in the Daily Express, who was an Asda worker who was supporting a homeless person who was outside her shop. And actually, as you can see from the picture on the screen, the homeless person was sitting outside the shop. And Debbie decided to do the thing that the Neighbourhood Prayer Network is trying to encourage in Christian organisations to put into action, that call to love thy neighbour. And so Debbie decided that it was important to help. So she went and got some food for this homeless person, and it's encouraging that her efforts have been recognised. And I think sometimes, particularly when we're talking about common ground, it's important we celebrate what happens in terms of the small acts of kindness in our community. And so when I saw this story, I also read in the article on the Daily Express that there was over 30,000 people liking the post that celebrates Debbie's achievement, and I wanted to do exactly the same.
Well, from all of us at GB News, Debbie, thank you for your kindness. I think that sort of sense of community spirit is so important in this day and age.
Absolutely.